Scott Miller, Business Development Officer at Midwest Bank's Lincoln branches. As a lifelong Lincolnite with over 30 years of experience in financial management, I'm here to help your business grow and succeed. My focus is building strong relationships with businesses and clients across Lincoln. Because at Midwest Bank, we believe banking is about people, not just numbers. Visit us at midwest.bank or stop by one of our Lincoln locations. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney location. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert. Driving left side, his border picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good. It's on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know, folks, we are with you on this tremendous Thursday. It is freaking cold out. Freaking cold. My hands were white when I got in the ride.
Well, that's a problem.
Say something, Swim.
Now you know how I feel. I'm kidding.
No, it was cold out there, though, man. Because I was in the basement. Because I worked out in the basement this morning, right in the gym, just save some time.
Did you get up a little too late?
Oh,
Is
no.
that why? Okay.
No.
I didn't know if that was why.
Full disclosure, though, I was just kind of, you're just kind of just puddling around.
Yeah.
It was an effective morning, but it was one to
Feels
where
like the time goes by a little quicker than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, I can't claim any excuses because I was up, and it was just one of those mornings to where it was a good morning, but I got caught up doing too much busy work. I'll put it that way.
Sure.
And that's why I get up early as what I do. But nevertheless, man, I got outside and I just left, got out of the shower, and I got outside. My hands were like, well, because I went to extreme warm to cold really quick. But man, folks, it is cold as heck out there. I'm trying to look at what our temperature is right now, Swimmy.
It is cold. Speaking of, real quick though, did you give this to me to drink the entire thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, good,
Yeah.
good. I just started chugging it, and I thought, wait, maybe I shouldn't have
No,
chugged
they're
it.
good. I gave Swim a protein coffee dark roast.
Yeah, protein coffee.
Yeah, it is pretty dang good. I was a little sus when Brooke got those, but I'm like, hey, these are actually really good.
This will probably help me because I gotta crank out about 125 push-ups today. So
you got how many total so far?
we have 390 left. If my goal today is to my goal today.
Like it was only 39.
Yeah.
I only have 390 left.
My goal today is to get under the 300 mark. So if I can get 91, we're okay.
I did something this morning when I posted. I'll show you my workout. I did some push-ups, and I was thinking of you with these little things.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was like, man, I would hate to have to do 400 of these.
Tell me about it.
Folks, we got a great show for you this morning. This January, I've been, and I've told Nick this, I like and with the 80 attitude adjustments, we're always talking about some as far as mindset, mental health, well-being, self-care, etc. Well, about 2.5 months ago, give or take, a gentleman reached out to me on social media, and this dude, it's almost like I've known him. It feels like that way for years now. Todd Kinney is our guest this morning. Todd Kinney is an attorney. He's a partner with a firm in Omaha. Reached out, 6 years sober. 6 years. And I'll preface that because he reached out to me because I've shared this with you all many times. When I was going through my grief, I've told you, working harder or digging deeper in the bottle is not going to work. If you want a cocktail, that's fine. But if you're using that cocktail to employ something that's in the wrong place, it never ends up good. I'm telling you, it does not end up good. So when Todd sent me that message, and he does some keynote speaking. Obviously, he's a very successful in life in general. So that's why it even resonated with me even more, because this dude just stripped all the onions back and said, look, dude, you can give yourself a story all you want. And the line that he uses throughout the book that stood out with me, the race to nowhere. Bro, Todd, good morning to you, brother.
Good morning. How are you?
Todd, I can't tell you how happy I am to hear you with us because you're going to hang out with us. Obviously, we'll talk about this and we'll dive into sports. He's going to join us until 10 o'clock because he's a sports enthusiast. But, folks, I just want to put a disclaimer out there right now. I need you to forgive me and Nick for this faux pas. Todd is an Iowa Hawkeye fan.
You said that. I said, man, are we sure we invited him here?
I almost canceled the original meeting we had.
I didn't know if the doors would be unlocked.
Yeah.
I showed up.
He is an Iowa undergrad, but he did wisen up and graduate from law school from the University of Nebraska Law School. But his story, we're going to get into that. But he's got an incredible read, his book, and you can tell. Todd, you can look through the dude. I don't mess up my pages. I devoured that book, and it's called. I'm going to make sure. It's I didn't believe it either. One dad's discovery that everything is better without alcohol. Todd, I literally devoured that book, and you can see from in there. You're like, AD, did you just get a paint highlighter and just paint every single page in there?
I love it.
But I knew it was going to be good because in order to be an attorney, first of all, you got to be pretty good with words. My son Aiden is like yourself. He's a wordsmith. The dude he's an attorney as well. Todd, you've risen up the ranks. Todd, first of all, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? And why Iowa?
Grew up in Bellevue, Nebraska. Lived there for 18 years of my life before I went off to undergrad at Iowa. The why Iowa question is it's a simple and a long answer. I'll give you the simple version to spare everyone. Both my parents went to Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Dad was a huge Iowa fan. My very first Iowa game was in 1981. I went with my dad. It was Iowa versus Nebraska in Iowa City. Nebraska was on top of the world in 1981. Iowa was not. Hayden Fry was in his third year, I believe. And Iowa had something like 19 non-winning seasons in a row.
How many?
19 or 20.
Oh, my goodness.
Before Hayden got there. And so he was starting to do some good things, but Nebraska was a top 10, top 5 team.
Say that again. I'm kidding. No, because
he was starting to do some good things.
Are we talking about men's basketball?
Yeah. And so I went into that game a little, I was an Iowa fan because my dad was, but I lived in Nebraska and all my friends and everyone I went to school with was a huge Nebraska fan. And I was a little conflicted. But I went to that game. Iowa pulls off the upset. One of the few things I remember from that game is the fans rushing the field.
Yeah.
I had never seen that before.
Yeah.
I was just blown away by that. And from that moment on, it was I was hooked, and that began my sometimes torturous fandom with Iowa.
So, go ahead, Nick.
Well, I was going to say this. I'll be honest. I've been to multiple games at Kinnick. Here in a couple of weeks in February, I'll be able to go to my first game at Carver Hawkeye. And so we'll see how that is. I don't mind the atmosphere at Kinnick, the wave. It's really, really cool.
I feel a butt coming on.
Well, it's more of just on the other hand, nothing makes me more excited than when Nebraska beats them. So
fair enough.
I will say this. I was slightly, I wouldn't say cheering, but I would say that in last night's basketball game, Iowa played at Purdue.
Ugh.
And I love Ben McCollum. I love Ben McCollum for what he was able to do at Drake after Darian DeFries left Drake in the college basketball ranks. And last night, I wouldn't say cheering, but I was pulling for Iowa to win on the road in Mackey against Purdue because of a Nebraska angle. It would have given Nebraska a full 1-game lead in first place for the Big Ten conference standings. But once again, there you go. You know what? Iowa can't do their job. And they ended up losing by like 9 or something because they got ice cold in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, well, I wish we could have helped you out.
I wish so too.
They played well. They couldn't get a stop in the last 3 minutes. Purdue is tough.
They got a great transfer. That Sturts guy is legit.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So, anyway.
Todd, you say here, I'm going to read this real quick to you. This sequence played out in my head almost every time I drank. It went something like this. Don't drink too much today. You know how that can ruin things and how crappy you feel afterward. I won't. I want this to be a good day. I'm not going to let things get out of control. Orders first drink. Starts thinking about the second. Oh, man, that beer tastes good. I'm ready for another. Watch yourself. I don't need to watch yourself yet. It's only beer number 2. Orders next drink. Starts to feel buzzed. Okay, I should probably think about slowing down. Oh, someone is going to the bar for another round. Okay, I'll take another. I mean, if I don't, then I don't have to wait another 20 minutes for the next drink. And that just can't happen. Okay, after this one, time to get serious about slowing down. It was like a race for me, a race where I didn't have time to look up and figure out how drunk I was getting. I had this nagging feeling that I had to hurry up and get somewhere. It was a race to nowhere. Dude, that is on page 26 and 27. And you can see I got all sorts of indexes all throughout this thing. It's a race to nowhere when it's abused. Tell us, what was that like for you? And what was that moment you said, enough's enough?
So it was exhausting for me is what it was like, because I went through that inner dialogue and that inner conflict and battle all the time when I was drinking. And, you know, I didn't drink every day. I didn't come home from work and grab a drink out of the fridge as soon as I walked in. Most of my drinking was on the weekends and in social events. So on the outside, that looks pretty quote unquote normal, right? But on the inside, what I was going through on the inside did not feel normal, and it was so much energy, and it was so much work for me to keep things under control. And sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't. And in the times that didn't, I just went through this. I call it the shame cycle. You know, the next morning you wake up and you beat yourself up, and you're like, why did you do this again? What's the matter with you? How many times are we going to do this before something changes? And I spent so much time and energy on all of that, because the last thing I wanted to do, I went years where I knew my relationship with alcohol was not great, and that I needed to do something about it. But that prospect of quitting out there was so overwhelming and so scary, and seemed like it would be like, you know, ending a part of my life.
That's what I was going to ask. Why does it seem for multiple people? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that are going, okay, actually, you know what? Now, since it feels so extreme, why does it feel so extreme for us?
Good question. Because it does. It really feels like,
it's like I'm not going to be able to have fun without it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the sign for, hey, maybe a change is necessary.
I think a big reason why it feels like that is because society has told us since the moment we can absorb messaging that alcohol is necessary for good times and bad times and everything in between. We're sold that message. I mean, alcohol has $1 billion marketing machine behind it, and it's very effective, as most marketing machines are. And so we're sold this message, and I believed it for a long time. I believed that alcohol belonged in all of these places, and things like vacations and football games and tailgates and weddings and funerals and family gatherings and family dinners and work happy hours. All of that needed to involve alcohol to be fun or something worth doing. Yeah. And that's so ingrained in us, I think, that it's so hard to imagine doing life without it. And what I've discovered since doing life without it is none of that stuff is true. None of that stuff is true. It's for me anyway, it's all a big lie. And there was a time when if I could not imagine going to an Iowa football game and tailgating without drinking. It was like, why would you do that? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
And that doesn't sound like much fun.
And if folks, I'm telling you this is not even a shameless plug. This is a plug that I really hope you go to toddkinney.com. That's KINNEY, toddkinney.com, and get his book. I devoured this book. And when I say he tailgated, he did a hell of a lot of tailgate. In fact, one time he ended up on Kinnick Field. He said nothing was off. When you were talking about Kinnick Field, I was like, well, Todd actually wandered out on Kinnick Field one time on one of those
touchy subject.
Yeah, not my best moment, but it's true. And if you would have told me that at some point in my life I would enjoy tailgating and an Iowa football Saturday or just anything like that, I would enjoy that more without alcohol than I did as a drinker. I would have said you're crazy. but it's absolutely true.
Todd, this is from Mark from Cook. Man, this is awesome, Mark. He says, you just read my daily schedule. 17 years, 3 months, 14 days.
Nice.
That is absolutely awesome, brother.
Nice.
Before Nick, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, it's fascinating because on multiple levels, the benefits to quitting alcohol, but also just limiting it. Like, because I think, right, like a lot of people might hear us talking about going completely sober and completely, completely stopping, but in dry January and stuff. And I made a joke about when you walked in, Todd, about I was going through damp January, and what I was saying is, like, to a certain degree, it's you can start to minimize it, without cutting it off completely, and like that's a step in the right direction as well. And so, even any steps in the right direction are positive steps.
Totally agree. I'm a big, a lot people have mixed feelings on dry January, whatever. I'm a big believer in anything you do that puts some time or puts some distance between you and alcohol, whether that be it could be for a weekend, whether it be for a weekend, a week, a month, 3 months, whatever. Anything you do to put some distance where you just begin to see things a little bit differently is a good thing in my view. I know I spent, I'm a slow learner. I spent 6 years meaningfully evaluating my relationship with alcohol and trying to figure out what I needed to do about it before I decided to quit. And during those 6 years, I had 2 stints of 90 days where I didn't drink.
Awesome stories too.
And those were good just because it gave me some time to step back, and it gave me a little glimpse into what life without alcohol would be like. And it gave me enough good things where I was intrigued by it. And I'll tell you what else it did was in the back of my mind, I thought, if I could do this for 90 days twice, then I can probably do it for longer.
Right.
It got me over that hurdle of, you've done this before for a certain amount of time. So it took away some of the mystique and the scariness of giving it up. So Nick, a weekend, a month, a week, whatever it is, I'm a fan of people doing that. It's
100%.
It only leads to good things, in my opinion.
Before we go to break, I'm going to read this and we'll come back. We'll discuss it some more along with Iowa and along with Nebraska football as well. Changes, how that's been something that's not happened a lot in Iowa as far as changes. But also, this is something from page 93. And this is your wife. You guys are in Arizona. And she goes, is this fun for you? You go, is what fun? I know this conversation isn't fun if that's what you're talking about. Being this wasted when nobody else is drunk. And then she leaned over and whispered those words in your ear. Your parents are staring at you. Todd, you weren't like, and Nick, no offense.
No, you're good.
You weren't some 24-year-old that just got out of college. Was,
dang.
Dude, you were, you were an attorney. And one of the most prestigious law firms in the region.
Yep.
So it wasn't like you were frat part. I mean, dude, you were, and when I read that, I could just see you like, well, what are you talking about? But when you're in it, it's just totally different because, like you said, you're the only one drunk.
Right.
Like, what are you slapping me for? I'm just having a good time.
Yeah.
And then comes the dagger. Your parents are staring at you.
Yeah.
Not out of judgment, because they didn't. Because real quick before we go to break, your dad would always say this. My dad taught me how important it is to be honest and how reputation takes a long time to build, but only a bad decision away from falling apart. Whenever we discuss current events or something that happened to someone we knew, he often responded by saying, put yourself in their shoes and think about what it must be like for them. Dude, it reminds me so much of my father because it wasn't judgment. It was like, be careful, because that could also be you, and imagine what they're going through.
Yep.
And that's why, Todd, like I said, there's so many things in this book. I know we won't get it all today. When we come back, we'll go on to the side and talk about this, some more of this. Also, potential changes in Nebraska's coaching regime. We don't know. There's been even more changes. So we'll talk about that. And also how that's been different from what's going on with Ferentz and his crew. Now, granted, you guys just lost the young man that went to, was it Oh, he went to Michigan State.
LeVar Woods.
DeVar Woods.
Yeah.
Yes.
Left eye. But these guys, we know that may be a pathway back potentially to Iowa if Ferentz decides to hang it up in the next year or two. Of course, Kirk Ferentz will be here. Oh, let me take that back. I don't know for sure if Kirk Ferentz will be here next Saturday.
We got to go break.
So we'll see. We'll be right back. It's The Drive.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this afternoon. Otherwise, probably sunny and breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly cloudy, a continued breeze, a low around 30. And tomorrow, a chance of snow. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. It'll be windy and colder, a high near 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, my co-host is now Popeye.
He's Popeye the Sheila, man.
His triceps and his traps and his forms are just like, not traps, but his forms in
It's a good thing I had that protein coffee because
some energy in you.
Get some protein in me, build up the muscle.
Folks, before we hop back into it, this segment is brought to you by Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected rep since 1999. He can help protect your home, your vehicle, your family, even your future, and possibly your chest cavity as well, as Nick was going to find out. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Service can help you. Folks, we're going to have Todd on at the end of the month as well because there's a lot we want to dive into and go into more of that. Todd, when Beth said to you, your parents are staring at you,
Yeah, I think you called it a dagger. It felt every bit like a dagger. And for the reason you mentioned, my parents are 2 of the most loving, compassionate, grace-filled people you'll ever meet. So it was not, I was not thinking they were looking at me in judgment and disappointment. What I thought that next morning after she said that was the first thing that popped into my mind. And what I thought was they probably were looking at me as a dad myself and as a grown adult and a father and a husband. They were probably looking at me and were sad at what they saw. And that wrecked me on a level that I had not dealt with before with my drinking. You know, I had been through that shame cycle with myself plenty of times. This was that times 50 because we all care about what our parents think about us. And the thought of it took me back to being like a 8-year-old boy who made his mom cry. And that just wrecked me. And I thought, again, for the 100th time, what am I doing? What am I doing with this drinking? What is it getting me?
Folks, we got Todd Kinney, attorney, partner, very prestigious law firm here in the state of Nebraska, 6 years sober. One more thing before we hop into football. On page 76, we're constantly justifying things around our drinking to facilitate our drinking and make ourselves feel better about it. But at the end of the day, they're all lies. Almost everything we tell ourselves about drinking is a lie because if we are dead honest with ourselves, that would mean we had a problem. If we dug into our drinking and why we drink and what we think might happen if we stopped, there would be a whole new set of issues to examine. We might be confronted with the idea of needing to do something about our drinking, and that's scary as hell, and a whole bunch of other things. You know, a lot of the readers, a lot of the texters in there, Rip to Quit. What's up, brother? He goes, I quit drinking 10 years ago. It's hard to go to parties because everyone drinks. It's funny and it's phony. It is so true. Yeah, he is getting there. Scott, Minnesota. Lent, the first time I did was difficult. Each year since, it's been better. Congrats to you, man. Ryan P says, I'm kind of just on a moist January. Folks, we're going to have Todd back on again. He's going to stay with us. We're talking some more sports. But right now, Swim, what's the latest? What's the updates as far as the coaching tree at Nebraska?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of curiosities on whether or not Nebraska is going to have Mike Eckler as their special teams coordinator. And there's Matt Rule put out, I will say this about it. Matt Rule had that interview with, I believe it's Zach Gelb or something of Yahoo. Let's not get it miscommunicated or misconstrued here. That is Matt Rule attempting to get out in front of anything if it happens. According to Matt Rule, he offered Mike Eckler a large extension in the middle of the season. And obviously, if Mike Eckler's potentially pursuing other opportunities, it's unsigned.
Says Eckler was offered a huge extension that would have made him one of the first or second highest special teams coordinators in college football. And as Rule mentioned, expressed his interest in staying, but has not definitely stated his intentions yet. And Rule also hinted that his aspirations may extend beyond special teams. Rule mentioned internal staff capable of maintaining the youth. That's in Josh Martin and Nick Humphrey. Make you familiar with Josh Martin. Josh Martin, this is his third season on Nebraska staff. He coached tight ends before. Originally was hired as a special teams analyst. Originally came in 2023 and coached tight ends. He's got some experience. He was at SMU from 2018 to 2021, and Martin was also at Arizona State 2014 to 2017. The younger guy, Nick Humphrey, this is his first season in Nebraska. He serves as a special teams analyst as well. He was a linebacker at Tennessee from 2017 to 2022. So he was an analyst. Both of these guys were in an analyst capacity, with the exception of Josh Martin, was the assistant special teams coach. So Rule feels that if Eckler leaves, decides to make that decision, that the special teams has learned enough and piece in place to where there's no drop down. That's yet to be seen. We'll see what happens out there. Swim, here's my thing about it. And Todd, here's my thing. As Iowa, you haven't had to deal with the type of revolving doors we have. Maybe a position here, a coach there, but you've kept your nucleus. Heck, your DC's been there for how many years?
Norm Parker retired in 10 or 11, I believe, and he's been there since. They've had 2 DCs under Kirk Ferentz.
2.
Right.
That's kind of like my Steelers with 3 coaches
Yes.
since 1969. So Swim, for me, I'm just being honest, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But at the same time, I do understand. I mean, if Eckler has aspirations to coach a position more than just special teams, etc. Maybe it's not a fit. All those things are real, man. And so I'm not going to try to say, well, I know the reason, because I don't know the reason. But if he has aspirations to want to do other things, I mean, he's going to do what he's got to do. I hate it. I love Eck, man. Got to meet him the first time that he was his first stint here at Nebraska. Good dude, fiery. And the dude, we don't have to go into the numbers or the stats because they speak for themselves. He took a team that was below the foundation and brought them to one of the most prominent special teams in the country.
Yeah, I think what's tough about this is if Mike Eckler ends up moving on from Nebraska and going to, whether it's USC, whether it's somewhere in the SEC, whatever the case may be, I think that the conversation is maybe even less about specifically Mike Eckler and more, this is where I think Husker fans have some sense of concern. Austin and I counted it yesterday, AD. This would be the 9th full-time assistant that Matt Rule has had to replace in his short time at Nebraska. 9th. We're talking for a multitude of reasons. Some of them are because of Matt Rule's decisions. Some of them are outside of his and because of themselves. And I mean, this is going back all the way to guys like Bob Wager and Evan Cooper. And then obviously moving on from, we didn't count Tony White into this, but like Terrence Knight, like 9th full-time assistant, whether that's coordinator, whether that's position coach, not even talking about all the lower level guys that have maybe moved on that don't make so much news and doesn't create so many waves when they move on. 9th guy. And Matt Rule has been here since 2023. That's you talk about revolving door, and I feel like that's where if Mike Eckler was the second, the third, then you sit there and go, okay, yeah, maybe this is more of an indictment on Mike Eckler. I think there's a lot of Husker fans out there, and text line 402-464-5685. Feel free to chime in on this. I feel like there's a lot of Husker fans that sit there and go, okay, another major move. And if Matt Rule truly did offer Mike Eckler a huge extension, as Matt Rule said, why wouldn't he want to stick around after the turnaround you just had?
Swim, that to me is more the, I'm not going to say an indictment because that's a strong word. I'm going to say this. It really makes me curious then.
Yeah.
You think about this. Todd will bring this. You think about, and I know you still follow Nebraska football because you're here. I'm going to say this. You're a huge, on the outside, I'm not even saying outside, but I'm saying as a fandom, you pay, Iowa, et cetera. But on the outside, when you see the facilities Nebraska has, I mean, you're a law school grad here at the University of Nebraska. You see the facilities, et cetera. You compare it to Iowa. It's not a knock, but dude, it's not even comparable. The tools and the resource we have here. You see a guy like Eckler, and like we said, we're not saying Rule did not do that.
Mm-hmm.
We're just simply saying if you're offered to be one of the top one or two in the country and you still leave, what are you thinking as a fan?
Yeah, well, and you understand this, AD, better than anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But think of the players. If you've got, even under the best circumstances, when you have coaching changes, even if it works out, even if the players love the new guy coming in, you still, when you have that level of change, you got players hearing 1, 2, 3 different messages, 3 different terminologies, different personalities, different things they like, the way to do certain things. That's a lot for a 18, 19, 20-year-old kid to constantly be resetting. Again, even under good circumstances.
Right.
It's just a lot of change. And it's hard. It just makes it that much harder to build momentum, I think. And especially in this area where before Eckler showed up, you could count on a major special teams gaff per game from Nebraska that was going to help you out. Every game. And he turned that on its head. I mean, he turned it from they went from a position of weakness to one of their strengths.
It's just interesting. I think once again, Matt Rule goes on a show, and it was released yesterday. It was about a 30-minute conversation, not all about Mike Eckler, but he was specifically asked, and Rule said the quote of quote, in the middle of the season, we offered Mike a huge extension. Well, he said huge extension. And then he ended with, I hope Mike is back. This is the other side of it. And we got this text on the text line from Gorilla, or excuse me, no, it was Jordan from Wilbur, that said, why wouldn't Nebraska have Mike Eckler help with linebackers, edge rushers, outside guys? If he wants to help coach more, let him help. I think that Jordan from Wilbur, I think that there's part of this. There's something notable about this was the first stop in the entire Mike Eckler career since he's become a notable name that he hasn't helped with a position group. This was the first stop. Nebraska was the first stop where Mike Eckler did not help with a position group. He did it for all 4 years at Tennessee when he was there.
And he's got a body work to back it up.
He did it at USC at his previous stop. That's the other side that people aren't really concerning or thinking about, I think, or considering, is that he's been to USC before. He was part of the Kiffin Carroll staff at USC. No, maybe not. It was Kiffin's staff, not Carroll. Excuse me. It was Edo at USC. But it's just one of those things that I think with Nebraska, take away the fact that he's here, because I truly don't think that has anything to do with this. And what's more notable and noteworthy to me is the fact that if you offered him a huge extension, which you said you did, so we'll take your word for it. And I believe, Matt Rule, that they probably had those conversations. Those go on almost nonstop, I would imagine, for guys like Mike Eckler that might be on just year-to-year contracts, is that it's not about the money. So if it's not about the money, what's it about? The camaraderie in the coaching staff? Is it the belief in what the head coach is selling, and that belief in the direction of the program? What is it? And we will never know. But if he doesn't care about the money, there's something else, whether it's fueling him to stay or fueling him to go.
Unknown texter 4868, good morning, goes Mike Eckler, has never stayed anywhere longer than 3 years. A lot of 1 and 2 years, and that's it. two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Two things be true at the same time, because you're exactly right. Unknown texter 4868. However, I wish we'd have got 3 years.
I would
if
tell
it
you guys
comes
this.
to that.
AD Todd, like I want to caution Husker fans: don't use that as a justification technique.
No,
you cannot use that as a justification technique, because you would hope. I think Nebraska fans would hope that whoever the coach is, whether it's Mike Eckler, who's the Nebraska guy, whether it's Dana Holgerson, whether it's Rob Orich, whoever it may be, I think they would hope that if you're able to identify a really good coach, and statistically, what Todd, you just said it, statistically what you were able to do special teams wise in comparison to the previous couple of seasons under other special teams coordinators, Mike Eckler is a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
You would hope that a place like Nebraska, with all the resources you have at your disposal, with everything that you have and can provide for a coach, a player, the program, you'd be able to either attract or retain the best possible coaches.
Right.
And when consistently you have not been able to, and there's one guy at the top, I think that causes concern for Husker fans. And so do not use, like, you cannot use, maybe it's a coping mechanism, but do not use he's never stayed here, this is just who he is. No, Nebraska should be a place where maybe you can change the way people act, because they realize the opportunity that they have here.
And Nick, I think this too. And before we go to break, we're going to come back with a history segment. I want to get this is a change of college football and get Todd's take on that. But Nick, that if you're going to hold that for him, you have to hold the same standard for Coach Will and company. Well, every place he's been, third year, he's done well.
There you go.
You have to hold that same thing. You can't throw that out and say, well, he's only been, well, if that's the case, we have to hold this coaching staff to the same segment where they've had in previous places.
Don't forget, Matt Rule hasn't been at a place longer than 3 years.
Absolutely. It's a touch. I'll say this. I'm not saying you can't use that.
Yes.
But it's a very fickle measuring device, if you would, to gauge something if you want to do it that way.
The same way
It's
it can
not
be
constant.
talked about on one side of the coin, you got to flip the coin over and talk about on this other side.
Absolutely. Folks, when we come back, we want to get Todd's take, because as an attorney, there's some history that has taken place in collegiate sports, and I want to get his take on how he would handle certain situations in this crazy landscape we've got. Folks, we're going to dive into the NFL. Matt Harbaugh has looked like he landed a different place. John Harbaugh. What is that? Where did Matt come from? Maybe I was thinking of Matt Rule.
Long lost Harbaugh brother.
What a gift for the Giants.
Yeah, I think they immediately changed quite a bit. And then what does that mean for the other positions? I think there's 6 coaching jobs available now with him taking that, the New York Giants. So we'll discuss that as well. Nebraska women take on Michigan State, number 15 ranked Michigan State tonight. That's at 6 p.m. It'll be on the Big Ten Network. So another test for them. And then we'll discuss, of course, before the show is over, we'll discuss the men and Nick and Jake and DF as they visit the beautiful campus of Northwestern. We'll be back, folks. It's The Drive.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this afternoon. Otherwise, probably sunny and breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly cloudy, a continuing breeze, a low around 30. And tomorrow, a chance of snow. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. It'll be windy and colder, a high near 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most, and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
folks, we are back. TK's take. The change we're talking about, Dante Moore, Washington, the change there. Nick, I got it in my notes, and I want to dig in my phone. The young man is his 7th school. What's the young man I'm talking about?
TJ Finley.
TJ Finley. It's his 7th school. We've found out things, TK, and we're asking TK from a law perspective, but even from a counsel perspective. There are actually agents that are reaching out, or quote unquote agents that are reaching out to collegiate athletes via Instagram, Snapchat. I don't think you're acquiring clients through Snapchat, are you?
No, not that I'm aware. Not that I'm aware.
So I'm Nick's dad. I bring Nick in.
Papa.
And, I'm his papa. Who's your little dude, Nicky?
What's up, Papa?
And Nick is my son, and Nick is a 5-star. And Nick is getting wooed by all sorts of schools. There's this money. You see there's many of them being taken advantage of. What would be the counsel you would give me as Nick's father, the things to be alert, type, paperwork, et cetera, like that, what to look out for?
Yeah, there's a lot to think about, and it's challenging because it's changing constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to navigate that as best you can. And I think one of the ways to navigate that is the first thing I would say is decide what's most important to you. 1, 2, and 3. Is it money? Is it getting to the NFL? Is it academics? Is it coach fit? And there's more factors you could throw in there, but decide what's most important on that list and let that drive you. Let that be the driving force. If it's money, if it's a 1-year payday, then your landscape's gonna look different than if your most important objective is getting to the NFL or finding a good fit academically. So decide what's most important. And I don't think going after the money alone is a very wise decision in the long run.
Right.
But if that's someone's number one objective, then okay, then let that drive you. If you stay true to that list, I think you've got a better chance of finding a good fit. And the other thing I would say is whatever your end destination looks like, make sure you understand your risks and the downside, because those contracts that those kids sign, are drafted by the university or university lawyers. They're
Bingo.
They're weighted towards the university. They're not the athletes are not employees. So they don't have certain rights that employees would have in those situations. And just go in eyes wide open.
That's the fascinating side about Damon Williams at Washington. And I want to talk about that here. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Well, we can't go super long over on this segment, but you got into something there about the word employees. Yeah. And AD and I talked about this when Damon Williams from Washington had all the stuff going on right now. And folks were like, oh, Washington signed him to a contract. They can just make him play. Well, no, they can't, because there's no collective bargaining. There's no, he's not an employee. Right. It's separate. You can't force somebody who's not an employee to work. And so it's a fascinating conversation, because if you are so scared of calling them employees, which the NCAA and all these programs are, then they can't, you can't force them to do anything.
Right. Yeah. I saw, Washington was going to file suit. Maybe they did file suit. I don't know.
Not anymore, because he's going to play for Washington.
Right. But I thought you can't make someone go to your school. You cannot compel them to attend your school and play football or major in finance or what. You can't do that. Now, if they paid him money and he decided he was going to go somewhere else, they can sue him to get that money back, right? Obviously. But yes, Nick, to your point, they're not employees. You cannot force them to go to school.
Yeah. It's so fascinating, because we talked about it as we were going to commercial last break. Just the fact of Washington is going through this roller coaster for Damon Williams, where it's like, oh man, we got our essentially franchise quarterback for next year. Here we go. Life is great. Wait, no, he's going to LSU. Screw him. We don't want him. And then he's back. He's back. Man, we love Damon, right? We talked about it. And you said it, where you were like, look, the first time he has a bad game, it's going to be, man, I wish you went to LSU, or whatever the case might have been. It is this roller coaster, and Washington probably had to look at themselves and maybe begrudgingly, because I don't think knowing Jed Fish and how he coaches and how he operates, he probably hates this, number one. Number two, he probably looked at it and was like, gosh, I feel like our hand is forced because what are we supposed to do? We're so late in the cycle for quarterbacks anyway. We're not going to be able to get somebody of DeMond Williams' capabilities. And at the end of the day, it's a results-driven business. Our hands are tied. We got to bring him back if he wants to come back.
TK, we can't tell how much we appreciate you being on, man. We're going to have you back on at the end of January because there's a lot more I want to dive into there as well. Before we close, though, there was a situation in your daughter's name, Scarlett. When you guys were at a game and you guys are going to sleep, and you just snuggled your daughter, and how you still both talk about that. And you mentioned in the book, had you been drinking, that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
The clarity mornings when you were able to talk to Austin one night, he came home and just wanted to talk to you. You were present. There were times to where they were able to call you in the evening, even on a weekend, and you were like, well, crap, I can't drive right now. What have you gained from leaving alcohol?
Oh man, it's hard to describe how much I've gained from it. And what blows me away is most of what I gained, I did not expect. I didn't see coming. I thought, okay, I'm going to sleep better. I'm going to feel better in the mornings. I'm going to love not being hungover ever again. I knew those things. I thought I'd have more energy. But the things I did not see coming are what you touched on. And it's the presence I have, the inner peace and contentment that I have that is crazy to me. I didn't know I needed it. I didn't know it was out there. It's like I took off a backpack full of bricks.
Wow.
And just set it aside. I did not realize how much alcohol was weighing on me. And I didn't realize how much my drinking and the way I drank and the way it made me feel was chipping away at my self-esteem. It was, I didn't realize any of this in real time. It was after I got some space in between me and drinking, I took some time off, that I started to realize that. And so when I quit and I started getting some of that back, I thought the best endorsement I can give for quitting drinking is I like myself more and I'm happier. I mean, that's how do you turn that down?
Right.
So the gains I've had from it were all unexpected, and they were things that I tell people it's like a way of living that I didn't even know was out there.
Next week, not next week, 2 weeks before the month ends, we're gonna have him back because we want to talk about what his friends thought when he stopped. He's an avid golfer. He's at social events all the time. He's a
What's the
partner
handicap?
This is the handicap.
It's high.
Okay, good. One of us.
How about that?
One of us.
It's double digits. How about
Okay,
that?
not one of us. No, I'm kidding.
Folks, we're going to thank Todd Kenny again. Folks, again, and Todd, you're open to talk to people as well, correct?
Absolutely.
How do they reach you on just online?
Yeah, online on Instagram. My Gmail is tkenny111@gmail. I love hearing from people, and I love talking to people about this.
I'm going to be posting this on our socials, on my socials as well, toddkenny.com. Folks, the book, the author, I didn't believe it either. One Dad's Discovery That Everything is Better Without Alcohol by Todd Kenny. Todd, this book has been such a blessing to me, man. You, brother, have been a blessing, man. I thank God for you. I appreciate you, man. We'll have you back on before the end and talk about how they can go beyond January.
Love
folks,
to do it.
You bet. Me and Swoon will be right back, folks. This is The Drive, 937.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most, and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at NebraskaDeerandGameExpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovbneb.com/schedule. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainer, driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Ostrander. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good.
It's on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainer, AD alongside AD, talking to our guest. A huge thanks to Todd Kinney for stopping on by in the 9 o'clock hour. As always, 402-464-5685, Honda Lincoln Hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, open for you guys. You can always reach out to the show, 464-5685, or on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Cable Channel 961, all places for you guys to get in touch with the show. We had a couple of questions. Forgotten Creed on the YouTube stream asked if AD and I are going to be watching the game from Evanston this weekend or tuning into NFL playoffs. How about both? I will be on the road in Evanston. I'm going to make the trip out to Chicago. Looking forward to it. But we will definitely be tuning into the NFL playoffs this weekend as well. And so once again, huge thanks to Todd Kinney for stopping on in the 9 o'clock hour and just greeting us with his wisdom. 6 years sober, which is obviously a celebration, but so much else that he's learned, AD.
Yeah, TK is, like I said, man, I've only known TK since about October, I believe. And he says, hey, man, would you mind if I met you for lunch? I'll take you to lunch. We went to lunch at Laszlo's down here in the Haymarket, and we touch base on a regular basis, at least weekly, if not more than that, and flip each other crap and things like that. But, he's just a good dude. Man, I thank God for him being in my life and just his insight and wisdom. It's been really cool, man. It's been really awesome. So we'll have him back on in the month as well. We're getting some texts on here. John and Cortland, good morning. It goes, now just heard, not employees, not contractual obligation, can not be compelled to play. Dang. Sign me up.
Yeah. Right.
That's a sweet deal, isn't it, John?
I also wonder, and TK was kind of talking about this at the end about what's the priority, right? One of the conversations I enjoy always is DP always goes through what's the priority for the university, right? And I always find it interesting to think about, okay, what's the priority for players? Because I think sometimes as they get into college athletics, and this can potentially be true for multiple sports, is the priority when you are going into your freshman year might be, hey, I might try to go get a bag. Like I might try to go get some money.
Go get a bag.
And you can't fault anybody for that.
No.
But then I think after a couple of years, there's something to be said about the priority might change. And I think to dare I say, and this might ruffle some feathers, we might see that with Dylan Raiola. I truly believe that priority number one right now for Dylan and for the Raiolas was to find a spot that they felt like might put him in the best position possible. Not that Dan Lanning in Oregon has been just like a quarterback factory, but it's more so than Nebraska. And I think that maybe to some degree they're looking at it going, okay, what's the best outlook and best potential landing spot that we have that Dylan can potentially be an NFL quarterback. And unfortunately, Nebraska is a spot that hasn't developed quarterbacks. They haven't developed a whole lot of guys into the NFL. And so I think maybe potentially the priorities have changed. And you once again, you can't fault somebody if your priority, AD used the example of you're my dad. I feel weird saying that. You're my dad, and I'm this 5-star recruit. And I sit there after my sophomore year and go, look, Dad, look, Papa.
Would you call me Papa?
I would call you Papa. Pa. I've made a decent amount of money, but you know what? I think I want to try to get to the NFL, or I want to get to the Major League Baseball, or I want to get to NBA, like whatever it is. Then the priority changes of, okay, let's find the best developmental spot that we have that we can go to and see what happens.
Swim, it's an interesting time, man. And as I was, even just as you were talking there and listening to TK just kind of break down, and DP does this all the time, does a great job of this. And you can tell, like I said, that is something that Todd does every day as well. What are our priorities with this case?
Yeah.
What are we trying to reach? What are we trying to get to? And it just, this offseason, in my opinion, is so important for Nebraska football on so many levels, Swim. I mean,
going by quick.
And it is, man, because here we are, we're halfway through the month. Okay.
Yeah.
To get into the portal, again, like we mentioned, unless you're Indiana or Oregon, ends tomorrow. Okay. Now, you don't have to designate a place, but you have to be in there before tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of fluidity that's going on within the portal. Speaking of Nebraska's portal, as of right now, and this could have changed even by the time I looked at this early this morning, Swim, it's two guys that we have coming in, two defensive tackles. You got Owen Stodmeyer out of Boston College. And then you got Terrence Green from Oregon. And that was true as of Wednesday night and also of this morning. Those were confirmed. They're actually here. They'll be here today if they're not here already. So, and why this matters, first of all, Nebraska has been aggressive in the portal. We can look at there's 15 transfer portal additions so far, one junior college player, one high school recruit we just talked about, which we'll talk about later. But of the 17 total additions since the 5th, 3 are defensive linemen, and Anthony Jones from UCLA, Jashir Whittington from Pitt, and Andy, how do you pronounce his last name? Burbagia?
We're still cleaning up. Still cleaning up that part.
We're just going to say Andy B, but that's still exactly. There's still some things to be done on that part, so we're going to say for right now. But landing either Green or Stodmeyer could be viewed as as a pretty good haul, if you would, to bring in.
Yeah.
You got Stodmeyer is one that he's 6'1", 292 pounds. This is 6th year of college football, will be in 2026. A native of Ohio. He's got a average 69.7 in the PFF, which is not low, but it doesn't jump out at you. But also the kid is 6'1", 292. He's got 33 career games he's played, 690 career snaps. So he's got experience, obviously, Swim. He's a guy that he can brings in some veteran experience. Also, man, it's just as a defensive line that wants reliability, he's been there quite often where he was at prior to as well at Boston College. You got big Terrence Green, 6'5", 330.
Yeah. These are a lot of guys that Terrence Green especially had 15 tackles against Indiana. Did not play a ton this season, but had 15 tackles against Indiana in the college football playoff last week. And so I don't know. There's a lot for me that the players piece of it is great. I'm waiting to see what happens with Mike Eckler. That's the honest truth.
Swim, I think to wait.
The visits are great. The visits are great. The commitments are awesome. Who's coaching? And unfortunately, it's unfortunate that we're sitting here on January 15th and there's uncertainty about one of the coordinators.
I don't want to say this. Swim, I'll say it this way. I am a wait, and I'm always like this, sometimes painstakingly so.
Yeah.
But I am a wait and see improve. All these things are nice. It's to me, it's like the table set. That's a beautiful ambiance. The table looks great. What about the dang food?
Yeah.
And I think the food kind of tastes. Because Swim, here's the deal. We've had the table was set at times before. We think, oh man, well this is going to be a great meal. And then you taste into it, man. It's not even meatloaf. It's Spam.
Whoa! Don't be hating on Spam. You're anti-Spam?
First of all, I'm not. I'm just simply saying in comparison. So you're saying something from the venue would be comparable to Spam?
No.
That's what I mean. Nothing. I'm not knocking Spam.
No,
I'm just simply saying.
Yes, you are.
It's not exactly what the taste buds were expecting.
Spam.
Would you agree that's a safe segue?
I suppose.
It's not what the taste buds were expecting.
Didn't expect to defend Spam today.
With me, you never know.
Let's go pan fry that thing.
Okay, put it this way.
Go.
Do you want a fine Italian dinner with great spaghetti, with great sauces, or do you want ramen noodles?
Okay. I'll fall in
because
line
there's
with
been
that
a lot of ramen noodles
I'll
lately.
fall in line with that one.
And you know what, Swim?
Terrell loves himself some ramen noodles.
I do too. I just had a bowl of it last week when I thought I had heartburn when I went to the ER. Maybe that's what sent me to the ER. To think of.
All that sodium.
Maybe that's what did send me to the ER.
No.
Had fat fingers like sausages.
Yeah.
So, Swim, here's the deal. I am never going to apologize for scrutinizing my university. I'm not going to apologize for it because I love Nebraska football. I love Nebraska sports. I am not media. I'm a person that happens to have a show with you, and we talk sports. But I'm not going to apologize for having high expectations.
No.
Never. In the point you start to find yourself, no. There is no well. Either you're winning or you're not. Either you're performing or you're not. So I'm not going to reserve, criticism.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see it. I want to see Nebraska do well. But I'm going to wait and see. Yeah, the table's set.
Mm-hmm.
There's some guests that are coming on the list that are pretty, that look like they could be some good potentials. They can offer some services.
Oh, yeah.
But I still want to see what the mill's going to look like.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Fred, here, I got to get to this text, 464-5685. Fred, not Hoiberg. Okay, good. Fred, not Hoiberg says, longtime listener, love the show. Tuning in to hear Nick call AD daddy is uncomfortable. There's a very stark difference, Fred, not Hoiberg. I did not call him dad. I called him papa. I specifically did not call him that, what you just referenced on the text line, because that would make me very uncomfortable. And so I called him papa.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
My boys call me Pops.
See, and I didn't want to take that from them, so that's why I called you papa.
Naya, and speaking of Naya, safe travels today, baby girl. Love you, miss you. Baby girl. She called me daddy.
Yeah, I know.
Daddy.
I know. That's how she gets that money.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get a Venmo? Yeah, sure, whatever you want.
Yeah, usually how it
It
goes.
is, yeah. Then Keenan asks, he's like, hey, kid, dad,
Hey, dog,
can I-"
you good?
Yeah, no, you good.
Figure
Don't
it
ever
out.
ask. Don't ever ask that again.
Figure it out, kid.
No.
So let me ask you this. What's your comfort level? You go,
Yeah, can we ask a different question?
What's your
I'm kidding.
What is your comfort level with Eckler not being in the fold? And do you think that because I'm not going to try to set it up. What's your comfort level with Eckler not in the fold with special teams?
I will use the diplomatic answer. I will say that I will trust that Matt Rule believes in the options that he has, and in the potential replacements that he has. Going off of what Matt Rule talked about yesterday on the little video that was released or whatever, and that he feels like Nebraska will be in an okay spot. I have no reason for this moment in time to doubt that, and I think it'd be immature and irresponsible of me to get on here behind this microphone and say that Matt Rule doesn't know what he's talking about when I don't know the staff as well as he does. I think it's more so for me. I know that wasn't a clickbaity answer, and I think that's probably a good thing. I think for me, it's a lot of it continues the narrative and the factual piece of there's been a lot of coaching changes in the first 3
Nick,
years.
I'm gonna just tell you right now, I'm concerned as hell.
Okay, and that's okay.
I really am. I don't like the dude. It just seems like every year there's a major piece that goes,
and that's what 6913 says.
I'm just concerned.
6913 says 0 in terms of confidence level. 0. It is so 5253 texts in and says, with the coaches leaving, it confirms Nebraska football doesn't have identity, too much turnover, and confusion by both players and coaches. 1562 says, all of our best coaches and players get out the moment they can. That says volumes about what's going on inside the program. Once again, I look at this apples to oranges. It's completely separate. The football versus basketball conversation, but I think it's very, very notable and very applicable to talk about like a guy like Nate Lenzer right now. Nate Lenzer is somebody that I'm sure has had opportunities, maybe not to get a head coaching job, right? Maybe in the future that's Nate Lenzer, and I would not be surprised to hear that kind of pick up some steam potentially after this season. But this is a guy that through relationships has gone away from Fred Hoiberg. They found their way back. He brings him in, and they are, I mean, so well connected, so tied together between what Fred and Nate Lenzer and Coach Ziegler want to do. And now even Pat Monahan, right, in his first year on staff for Nebraska basketball. Those coaches feel so connected. It feels so different when considering the Husker football staff. And I don't want to sit here and say that they don't get along. That's not what I'm getting at. It's just there is a difference. Now, there is a big differential between dealing with 15 guys on a roster versus 125. And when you're talking about the type of money that Matt Rule and his staff are managing versus the type of money Fred Hoiberg and his staff are managing, it is once again apples and oranges different. But the connection piece is still important in both staffs.
Yeah, because Nick, and I'm not saying you're saying this, at the end of the day, whether you're managing $3 million or $30 million, if you don't have it just goes to your point.
Yes.
If you don't have a cohesive staff to where you're all on the same page, there's going to be constant turnover. And right now, there's just not a cohesive staff. Maybe this one is it. I don't know. But every year, there has been exodus.
Yeah.
All right, we've been exiting more than the children of Israel out of the Red Sea.
It's easy also to play like the lateral job game, right? Which
concerns me.
Yeah,
if you're taking a lateral job, some even worse programs swim. Like I said, man, I just want nice things. I just want some stability because all of the pieces are there. Swim, if we were lacking in certain areas, facilities, resources, NIL, etc., then I'd be like, hey, you know what? We're kind of coming in the fight with one hand behind our back, or we don't got a full deck.
It's unreal expectation.
Yes, we don't have any. We have everything we need to cook,
except for what? Consistency with
results.
Coaches. Well, results, but
and
where does that
all
stem
stems from transition. If you have different chefs coming in all the time in different departments, the meal's going to taste different. The people preparing the food that should be doing the jobs, they're getting 3 different recipes all the time. Well, this is Tony White's recipe. Well, this is Butler's recipe. Well, this is Phil Snow's recipe. And like Todd said, dude, Nick, think about this. If every 3 years we had different change up who you were answering to. So everything you learned year 1, 300 plus days, that's no longer relevant. Year 2, you got another one. You're still trying to get year 1 out of your head. Now you're bringing in year 2. Oh, wait, well, guess what, Nick? This year, we got a new one for you. You still got remnants of 1, terminology of 2. Now you have a new schematics and terminology and language for 3, habits, tendencies, behaviors. Dude, that's a lot. Now, Nick, you do this multiple hours a day. You get 2 with the guys down there in fall ball. You get 2.
It's interesting. I mean, it's a fascinating conversation to have. I think there's this is no inside info. I don't talk to anybody. Okay, so like this is truly my opinion. Is that yesterday with the whole situation of Matt Rule and going on this show and talking about Mike Eckler and what's going to happen, I felt like that was damage control from the start. And maybe this is wrong. And I wouldn't say this if I truly didn't believe this. And I'm going to be honest on the show. And that's how we are, AD. Is yesterday felt a lot like damage control. Because Matt Rule was able to go on a platform and rightfully so. And Matt Rule is a very very strategic. And you have to be a head coach. But you go on a program and you're able to sit there and say, look, in the middle of the year, we started to have these conversations. We saw that Mike Eckler was a piece that we wanted to have going for a long time here. And we offered him, in Matt Rule's quote, in the middle of the season, we offered Mike a huge extension. And then he said some other stuff. And then at the end, he goes, I hope Mike is back. That felt, but then he also comes out and goes, look, if Mike Eckler does decide to want to move on, then we have guys that we're confident in. That part felt a lot like premeditated, premature damage control, which is part of the job as a head coach. And then on top of it all, there was also a piece, and I am paraphrasing here. This is not direct quotes. He mentions guys like Trev Alberts. He mentions guys like Mike Eckler, and then also himself, about how Trev was a Nebraska guy and he decided to move on. Mike Eckler's a Nebraska guy. He might decide to move on. And then he throws in there, look, I'm a Penn State guy and I've had opportunities, but I want to be here. A lot of that feels very, very damage control-esque. Because let's be real. On January 15th or in the next couple of days, we find out that Mike Eckler, who was Nebraska's probably most successful statistical coordinator out of the three, offensive, defensive, or special teams coordinator, he leaves this late in the offseason when your season's been done for a couple of weeks, but really since the regular season ended back on Black Friday, he moves on. You sit there and some alarm bells can go off. And so this is, I think Matt Rule understood that. And that was a big part of the video getting released yesterday when it did. Because now if things happen, guess what? It appears, and I truly believe this about Matt Rule, is that this was something they were prepared for.
Yeah. You got to beat it up front. I mean, it's PR 101. It's damage control 101. And like I said, I use the word. No, it is.
Especially in the middle of transfer portal season. These guys are, the staff is hosting recruits. They're trying to get guys to join the fold. And if you even for a second appear that you don't have control over your staff, over your coordinators, you don't know what direction you want to go if one of them leaves, then yeah, that concerns a lot of people, especially guys that you're trying to convince to suit up for you next year.
It is a crazy time, as we always say in collegiate sports. We felt we needed to stay on that. We wanted to stay on that, because it's like I said, he is one of the most prominent coaches at Nebraska. So we'll see how what goes with that. But as Matt Rule did, I thought Matt Rule was very wise in saying, you know what, I need to get ahead of this, because that's what you need to do. You got to get ahead of issues when you're the CEO of a multi-million-dollar operation.
Yeah.
You got to get ahead of the story, man. So I give him kudos on that aspect of it. However, I will say this too, man, we got to keep we got to keep some cohesiveness going into this next year, man. Like I said, the coaches we have coming in and other ones that may or may not be announced soon. To me, it's like, it's just go time. It's go time. Because as you mentioned, Nick, it's January 15th, man. You got spring ball that's coming up in about 60 days.
Yeah.
Think about that aspect. You got spring ball that's coming up in about 60 days.
Yeah, it's wild. I think there's a lot to find out. And let's hope that none of this actually materializes, excuse me. And Mike Eckler is still with Nebraska going forward. Let's just hope that that's the case.
Folks, when we come back, we'll talk a little about Harbaugh, how he is in the Giants. We'll also talk about, did I say it
Harbaugh,
right?
nice, you
I just
did.
keep saying, Bah-ha-da-ha. You ever heard that song, Nick?
No.
Da-ha-ha-ha-ha. DF, I know you've heard that, the Rapping Duke. Text line, let us know if you remember that song, the Rapping Duke. We'll come back to talk about Harbaugh, as well as Nebraska going to Northwestern. We'll be back.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week and attractive benefits package and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at NebraskaDeerandGameExpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovbneb.com/schedule.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back on this tremendous Thursday morning. It is cold as a coal miner's backside out there. You ever heard that saying before, Nick?
I have not. Unfortunately, a little bit of
You've got some cold-blooded news.
Some interesting news coming out of Philadelphia. You remember a couple of months ago, there was that big sports betting scandal that they made multiple arrests for, and new list of indictments just dropped in the Philadelphia sports betting scandal. One of the names might resonate with Nebraska basketball fans, as Kevin Cross, the former Nebraska basketball forward. He then transferred to Tulane and actually had a really nice career at Tulane. He is one of the ones indicted. In the official indictment, it talks about how on February 18th, 2024, East Carolina played this. I'm going to summarize it here, not go so official. East Carolina played a men's basketball game in North Carolina. East Carolina was favored to win the game over Tulane by 2.5 points. In this game, the fixers had the guys that bet on the game had around $220,000 total wagered on an East Carolina and Tulane men's basketball game. On February 18, 2024, in the game, defendant Kevin Cross underperformed in and influenced the game as he agreed via text message. Defendant Cross scored 6 points in the game, well below his season average. East Carolina ended up defeating Tulane 81-67, covering the full game spread, and the fixers won their bets. The next line reads, in the official indictment from the court, says shortly after this game, the fixers, and it names them by officially, arranged to deliver approximately $30,000 in cash to defendant Kevin Cross as his bribe payment for fixing the East Carolina game. It also talks about how later in the year, in March 2024, discussed with Kevin Cross fixing the upcoming game between Tulane and Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic was favored to win the game by approximately 15 points at sportsbooks throughout the United States. The attempt to fix this game was unsuccessful, and the fixers lost wagers totaling at least approximately $200,000 that they had placed on Florida Atlantic to cover the spread. FAU won the game by only 6 points, failing to cover the spread. So unfortunate news there. A guy that had a really nice career at Tulane, now under a little bit of heat. He and there's about 20 other players across the country and some multiple schools. Buffalo, East Carolina, obviously, as mentioned. There's a lot. I believe Fordham's involved. There's a lot of schools named now in this new indictment that just dropped this morning.
I just dropped this in here and just kind of scan this thing. You mentioned the programs: Nicholls State, Tulane, Northwestern State, St. Louis, LaSalle, Fordham, Buffalo, DePaul, Robert Morris, Southern Miss, North Carolina A&T, Kennesaw State, Coppin State, New Orleans, Abilene Christian, Eastern Michigan, and Alabama State. 25 indicted. What they're saying is massive point shaving and gambling conspiracies you mentioned. And they say, Nick, it started in China.
Yeah.
Scheme began in China in 2022, moved to NCAA games, 39 plus players, 17 plus teams, 29 plus games, allegedly compromised, swim 29 games. Prosecutors, they said this undermined the integrity of sports, and they say it's probably going to be the largest basketball gambling scandal in U.S. history when it's all said and done. This is massive, folks, so stay tuned for this.
Yeah.
But like I was sharing with Swim, and he knew this already, but when you know what you do federal, there is no good time. If they say you're doing 10, you're not doing a second less than 10 years.
Yeah.
You're going to do that time. So stay tuned to this because, this is massive right here, man. In-state players were paid anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000 per game to underperform.
Wow.
Lord have mercy.
There you go. Also, a little bit of Nebraska recruiting news that just dropped. Terrence Green, the Oregon defensive lineman, has moved his Nebraska visit. He's going to visit Alabama on Friday, Cal on Saturday, Nebraska on Sunday. Talk about a busy 3 days for Terrence Green. There you go, the Oregon defensive lineman. Alabama Friday, Cal on Saturday, Nebraska on Sunday.
Busy.
And so there's the schedule for the Oregon defensive line transfer.
Folks, we'll be back with the attitude adjustment on this Thursday. I'll be right back.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at nebraskadeerandgameexpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible this afternoon. Otherwise, probably sunny and breezy. The high near 48. Tonight, mainly cloudy, a continued breeze, a low around 30. And tomorrow, a chance of snow. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. It'll be windy and colder. A high near 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Black for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovbneb.com/schedule.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Been a full Thursday, folks. Appreciate you riding with us today. Speaking of rides, you guys are leaving what time tomorrow?
Still unclear on that. I think sometime mid-afternoon. We're okay with getting there a little bit later. But, yeah, excited for it. Excited to see Welsh. It's going to be another college basketball arena that's off the checklist. And Welsh Ryan Arena. So it's going to be good. I'm excited also to some degree to have the ticket out there as some presence as well. Like it's good to have representation and stuff. And so we're excited to make the trip.
Big Haas, thank you for the correction. He goes, there is actually a good time in federal prison, but you have to do 87% of your time.
That's a lot.
I was thinking you had to do all of that
Yeah.
time because in a lot of, and
I'll be fair. I'll be honest. I don't know how the prison system works. Never been. Hope to never be.
Dave Chappelle got a funny skit. We're talking about, man, you go to the hood, brothers always know, that'll get you 5 to 10.
No.
Yeah, I'd rather do 0%.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm
No,
not
it's crazy. All this
Dude, that is a
all these-
massive investigation that's going on. There's
Well,
gonna
and
be a lot
then
of
you worry
indictments.
about like for guys that if they're unsuccessful on fixing the games, right? Like there's some dangerous dudes that are involved in that. And if like hypothetically speaking, if you're offered bribes to do something and you don't follow through for it, like you just don't know what people are capable
You're messing
of.
with some
And it's
very sketchy characters.
Yeah,
you're
it's-
messing with some
it's-
killers at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
Dudes that
So
will take you out and think nothing of it. And
Yeah.
then you get so, like you mentioned, like you get so caught so deep into it, and then they own you. You, like they say, he's been compromised, she's been compromised, to where you've lost all of your decision options as far as that goes. I mean, you can go into protective, custody and go hiding or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's just sad. It's a dark corridor to go down. So man, that's terrible, man. That's terrible.
AD, we will talk tomorrow about a lot. Nebraska basketball getting ready for Northwestern on Saturday. You have Dante Moore.
Well, TF Simpson think there's a time. I'll just let you look at the group text.
Okay. Nebraska.
I can't say that on the air, Dave.
Nebraska basketball will play Northwestern on Saturday. We will talk NFL head coaches, seeing if any of them get landing spots decided today as well. It seems like the Mike McDaniel to Cleveland train is picking up some steam there because it looks like they want to go in an offensive direction up in Cleveland. John Harbaugh officially off the market, and seems like the New York Giants are going to be the landing spot for him. And so we'll see what Pittsburgh, what Baltimore decides
Flores
to do.
is going to be interviewing, as well as Shula will be interviewing in the Berg as well. There's like you mentioned, there's a lot of moving parts going on, man.
Husker women's basketball tonight against Michigan State on the road.
6 p.m.
Yep.
6
So,
p.m.
There's a lot to get to. What you got for us today?
So I will say this before I go to the 80 attitude adjustment. The ladies need a win tonight, man. You've got it handed to you by the West Coast teams for the most part. USC and UCLA, did their thing. Nebraska, I just think for their psyche, you need to get a ranked win in here.
I agree,
man. So
I agree.
I'll be watching that. It's on the Big Ten Network at 6 p.m. tonight. The 80 attitude adjustment is an author, one of my favorite authors. His name is James Clear. And Swims wrote a lot of good books, but I love this quote this morning, and it makes a lot of sense. It says, time will multiply. Let me go back to it. Time will multiply whatever you feed it. Good habits make time your ally. Bad habits make time your enemy. Time will multiply whatever you feed it. One thing I remind myself, so I'm going to just remind the listeners, the riders, whatever you feed grows. Whatever you starve, it begins to diminish and die. So, Nick, you feeding your chest.
Dude, I got to knock out 25 more.
How many you got total? Because you did 25 during one of our breaks.
Yeah.
So you got how many total?
So I still have 365 to go.
You know what? Just like Nebraska was down 16 against
Start
Indiana.
chipping away.
How do you eat elephant?
Just one bite at a time.
One bite at a time. One push-up at a time. And it's the same thing for life, folks. You take it one at a time. Man.
Eric says on the text line, my man AD, have a great rest of your day. Eric, I say to you, have a great rest of your day.
E-money. Eric, appreciate you, homie. And Isaac, you had a text on there as well. I didn't want to forget you, Isaac. Nick, can you read that one? Because I'm like,
yeah, it says, since we already are acknowledging we have some reservations on current trajectory of Nebraska football, when can we get seat backs, and how long do you guys think the sellout streak will hold on for? Isaac and Lincoln. It's going to go forever. It will. Nebraska won't let it die. They'll find ways. They might not fill the seats, but they'll sell the seats.
Yeah, I think that's the
and
way
their
to say it
sellout
right there.
streak.
That's the way to sell it right there. Folks, thanks for riding with us. We'll ride with you tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska